action.
Alison, before I ask you the first question, we are in Bielefeld. Barthy, is that the right pronunciation when I say?
Barthy for my surname, that's exactly
okay?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, Alison Barthy. Very warm welcome to you in Bielefeld, and I would like to ask you to introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Alison Barthy. I work as Head of Student Advice and Wellbeing at SOAS, which is the School of Oriental and African Studies, which is part of the University of London, where I manage a small team of counsellors, disability advisors, finance, immigration, housing and mental health advisors, but I work as part of the counselling team.
Do you think one of your main challenges is something like transcultural counselling?
Well, SOAS has got a very high proportion of international students. I don't think one of the challenges, but it's one of the aspects of the work that means most to me. It's one of the reasons that I'm very happy to be working in SOAS with such a vibrant, diverse, exciting group of students.
Maybe you give me an example. One, you said vibrant difference. One, a positive example, and another maybe a challenging, a conflict example, please.
In terms of the vibrant, one of the things that we talk in our team about, if there's such a thing as a typical SOAS student, it's what often gets called the third generation of young people. So there'll be a student and they'll say, well, my mother's from here, my father's from there, I was born here and I grew up somewhere else and I speak 3 languages. So that's, you know, that the world that student lives in, I think is just very stimulating and also challenging to work in. The most challenging are the students who find the transition to studying in the UK such a big jump for them. So maybe I get told by an academic or another student that there's a student who's in their flat and they haven't come out of their flat for 5-7 days and they don't speak to anybody and they're causing a lot of concern.
If I understood you correctly, with that question of identity and belonging in that way, how do you deal with this?
How do you deal with it? I think it's something to be explored. I think I came into therapy when I began to explore and think about my own identity. To all intents and purposes, I look like a white British woman, but I was born in Uganda. I lived there till I was nearly 7 or 8. I came to the UK with my parents when my father's job finished, and I was like a fish out of water. It was a completely different environment. I didn't understand the things that other children understood. They didn't understand me. They thought I was some strange creature because I didn't know who the Beatles were.
Okay. The last question, please. This work, I call it a diversity work. Do you agree with me if I choose the expression participation in a praxis to get people work with you? You said now one students may have a 5 or 7 days stay there. How do you get sense of these people to get them out, and your role in this institution? Are you satisfied with this role?
I think that's one of the most difficult questions because it brings up all the boundaries about a counsellor, because in our work and our training we can't go to the student because that's breaking a boundary and it's outside our roles. So we might do that virtually. You know, you might send an email to the student, you might invite them to telephone you might offer to do something by Skype, or you might work through third parties, say through other students that the student trusts, to gradually begin to build up with them the possibility that they might venture out and come and talk to somebody for whom at one stage it may have seemed impossible for them to do.
If you have a wish to change something institutional in the structure, what would be that? This is really the last question. Sorry. Yeah.
No, there was something that I would change. I think it would be to have more opportunity for students to come together in a semi-structured but exploratory way for them to share their own experiences, to get to know more about each other, rather than leaving it up to the slightly casual, hit and miss social events that happen, which may be not attractive or welcoming to international students.
Alison, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.